Cobra Commander enlisting the marching band to aid in his evil plot. And we get introduced to the October Guard. Join us as we dive into issues 5 and 6 on our G.I. Joe Real American Hero comic reaction series right now.
And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our G.I. Joe Real American Hero comic reaction series. I'm Michael, and here with me each week for this series is Soundtracks with Birdman. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. And Cricket.
Oh, we got Cricket in the house.
Say hello, Cricket. Say hello to all of you too.
Oh, such a cute. How Cricket? Okay, is Cricket a male or a female?
She's a girl.
She's a girl. What's her disposition?
Bossy.
Love it. Bossy saucy.
Very bossy.
How's the rest of the wolf pack doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice.
They'll get supper when we are finished. But how are things in Toy Habits Land?
Toy Habits Land is good. Had a busy work day. I'm just analyzing a bunch of data. I have a report due this coming week. But it's nice to get a break and spend the time and talk G.I. Joe comics, which is great.
Talking about G.I. Joe Comics, issue 5, front and center on that cover is the Mobat.
Oh, the Mobat, yes.
Did you have the Mobat growing up?
I did have the Mobat growing up.
No, I hate you.
Oh no, did you not have it?
Did not, no.
Sorry, man.
I never had anything that was motorized. But
that required batteries.
No. But yeah, I always liked the Mobat. And that's kind of, I guess the Mobat is the real star of this issue because they talk about it an awful lot.
Yeah, which is cool. Like you really get a sense in this one that they're kind of deep diving and highlighting, the Mobat as this. It's not a person, but it's like the central character, if you will, of the story, right?
Let's sell some toys.
That's right. It's funny. Robert Alessandrini is in the house. Hi, Toy Habits family. We have Big Al presents. Hello, my friends. Have a great show.
Hello, Big Al.
Yes, Big Al is in the house. Yeah. So, I guess with we never really go over these G.I. Joe classified files, and it's funny because now I'm like, is this where they got the classified series from? But anyway, they like to highlight characters, and which is cool because
they don't do that for very long. That kind of falls off.
They just moved on to something else, I guess.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, they didn't do it very long. So, but yeah, you got Flash peeling potatoes, which seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that was his job in the army when he was in the army. So, like, that many potatoes, that's crazy. It's nuts. But yeah, we got our splash page. Thanks for the memories.
Technically, that's not a splash page because it's got 2 panels.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, really? So if there's a panel above it, so what is this called then?
It's just the first page.
Oh, see, I'm overthinking things.
Yeah, it's the page.
That's fine.
But yeah, this issue is entitled Tanks for the Memories. Yeah. And you got Breaker and Steeler and Clutch scrubbing down the Mobat. And can you remember last week, Steeler took his shirt off to lift up that door thing. He was all like, "Argh!" And here you got him in the wife beater looking all jacked. It's like, I never thought of Steeler as being a really jacked kind of guy, but I guess he is in the comic book.
Yeah, I guess they had to, like, I guess you're thinking about Steeler, the action figure. No, I didn't think of him as jacked either. He was just the dude who came with the Mobat.
Mm-hmm. And an Uzi.
And an Uzi, yes. Oh.
But one thing I noticed in this issue, whenever they say like, "Oh, we're driving the Vamp" or "We're driving the Mobat," then they have to give you like Mobat multi-ordnance battle tank, and it's like, okay, and like Vamp. Well, what did Vamp stand for? I mean, we're gonna find out in this issue, but
yeah, I don't remember. But it's good that they remind you, right?
yeah, because every GI Joe name means something.
That's right. That is correct. Yeah, it's funny because they have to also go through all of the capabilities of the Mobat as well.
But for that, like, they're trying to impress Scarlet, and she says, "It's only a big useful tool." And I'll leave that right there. So moving right along, Clutch is just like, "Whoa, Scarlet, this is no ordinary bucket of bolts. This is the state of the art in armored heavy weapons. Ain't that right, Steeler?" And Steeler's like, "You said it, Clutch. Mobat is driven by 2 gas turbines, fewer moving parts, more horsepower, and minimal vibration and noise." And Scarlet says, "I like vibrations." I'm sorry. She said, "Engines are boring to me." And it's like, of course they are, dear. Of course they are. But yeah, they really got to play up the all the greatness of the Mobat. And Scarlet is like, "I don't suppose you can plug in a Pac-Man cartridge." And I'm like, dude, remember Pac-Man?
I remember Pac-Man when I got it for the Atari and just being completely and utterly disappointed in it because it looked nothing like the arcade game.
Well, I don't, okay.
But yes, flash forward to when they actually were able to mimic the arcade games, then I was a little bit more impressed. But yeah, I do remember Pac-Man. That came out when I was a wee little laddie living in Southern California. But yeah, they do make a point of saying that this Mobat can run completely submerged for up to an hour. But like, what happens after that hour?
I think you would die.
Or does it like turn into a pumpkin?
You'd probably run out of air, so you would suffocate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or like, does water just magically seep into the tank parts and gum them all up and make them?
I think the main thing is that it would just stop working and you would just suffocate.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. Oh, and it's got an amplified microphone to external speakers. So
right the road.
Hello, Dave. Thanks so much for joining us as we are kicking off issue number 5.
Who in the chat had a Mobat growing up back in the day? Let us know.
Inquiring minds. This is all about the Mobat. All about the Mobat. And what we find out where the Mobat's going to be making its grand appearance, right?
Yeah, in a parade.
Parade of all parades.
And because they have to be so secret with it, they send a general through LaGuardia to fly to DC. Right. And as he goes through the X-ray camera scanning, whatever, it catches a picture of the contents, and they take it to a cab driver. Cab driver takes it to a doorman. Doorman goes up. "Package for you, Miss Hood." "Oh, thank you, Hollis." And she opens up a door, and it's like, bam, like this Cobra Command Center, like the latest courier scan from LaGuardia. "We'll run it through the automatic processor immediately."
I love it. But Cobra Commander has all of the Intel operatives working for him
everywhere. I mean, like Santa Claus. And like the Cobra dude's like, "Top priority for Cobra Commander. Take the usual safe routes to Cobra headquarters." and it says many hours later. He's crawling through the sewer. And he knocks on the door, and it's like you're going to a speakeasy. He's like, recognition code, the mongoose 2 must die. Like, that is correct. Enter. And Cobra Commander's sitting in his big Cobra chair, just like shooting G.I. Joe targets, Baroness is kind of saying like, oh, your grouping's a little too tight. And the guy's like, Cobra Commander, I bear an urgent message from the Cobra Information Center in New York City. He's like, dude, you use a lot of words. And he's like, Splendid, we shall get us a Mobat today.
Yeah, Clint makes a good point. They didn't have Destro's company's money pouring in yet, right? Because this is early days, right?
Well, I mean, don't all evil people have sewer layers? I mean,
yeah.
Wouldn't you like a sewer layer?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle sewer layer, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I like something a little bit classier than that. I'm thinking more like Lex Luthor type sewer layer, but
yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna big ball, then really big ball.
I do like the illustration of the Cobra soldiers, though. They're kind of looking more like traditional Cobra soldiers as these, and they're not pretty far into the issues yet, but seems like they're honing in on their look and feel a little bit more.
Do you like the gold accents on them?
Yeah, I think they play better off of a comic page than they do like television screen. What about you?
They look dressier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it look like, because Cobra Commander and the Baroness, they're supposed to be the high ranking in the organization, and so like they have gold, and like everybody's got gold, so it's like everybody's kind of on a level playing field with respect to their uniform. I don't know, but I'm wondering how like white maybe might have made it look unfinished or just unillustrated.
Yeah.
But they do pop off the screen though. I love that's kind of funny that Cobra Commander is using the Joes as target practice. That's pretty fun. But at the parade, we have General Flag patiently waiting for the Mobat to come through, along with all of the other top brass in the organization. Looks like they have like a lawyer with them too, and somebody from the Love Boat.
And the marching band is playing Springfield drum and bugle corps. And they're like, Springfield, which one? There must be one Springfield in every state in the Union. One, I'll bet there are some states with 2 or 3. And the thing is, Springfield's where Cobra is headquartered in the comic book. That's like their town. And I remember when I was a kid and we were learning all the state capitals, and it's like, capital of Illinois, Springfield? What? Cobra is real.
That's funny. It's like, yeah, I guess this is where the Simpsons got their Springfield from, right? It's the generic town that you don't know where it is. Just Springfield.
And let's see, we got, I don't know if you caught this panel.
I did.
You did? Okay. So Steeler, like, let's just say that I'm fulfilling the obligation of a military commander to keep abreast of the rear guard situation. I'm like, yeah. Can you like zoom in on that panel?
I can, yes. Just give me this one here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now,
but then for some reason they got stopped for cross town traffic. I don't think they normally do that in parades, but okay. And then the majorettes like encircle the Mobat with flag type things.
Oops.
And then
I think I lost the page where I'm at.
And then the float opens up and
oh, here we go. All right. Sorry. I got distracted by the zoom. Yes. So yeah, well, the crosstown traffic is probably a
The
ploy.
version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those kappas are in on it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as Admiral Akbar famously quoted, it's a
It's a
trap.
trap.
So, yeah, they got to try and get the heck out of there, right?
They do. It even says it says roar for the sound effects.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're about to get swallowed by this big old float. So they got to hightail it out of there. And like, I don't know about you, but like my marching band in high school and also my son's marching band in college, like they don't go around carrying machine guns. They have actual instruments, not instruments of destruction.
And yeah, they're just breaking them out of the instruments, and they're like, I guess like the squad leader's like, I want an anti-tank rocket launcher team with every rifle squad. I'm just like, damn, look, y'all hardcore.
That is pretty hardcore. And look at that. They're even taking all the armaments out of the like tuba or whatever the heck that is. That's pretty cool. Like nobody caught that with all of their sophisticated equipment. Guess not.
Well, they weren't. I mean, it was a pretty good sneak attack.
That was really good. Like I gotta hand it to Cobra Commander for pulling it off at least till this point, right?
Yep. And then of course the Mobat gets stuck in traffic, which just totally makes sense.
That always happens in parades, right? I mean,
Yeah, I know. Did you remember in GoldenEye where James Bond's driving the tank through Moscow chasing the car?
No.
No. Did you see GoldenEye?
No.
Okay. Anyways, James Bond is driving a tank through St. Petersburg chasing like a car, and he's not being as considerate as what the G.I. Joes are. He's just like running over everything and just,
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
There's only a few James Bond movies that I've watched.
Okay.
I did see probably the worst one that I really, really liked was A View to a Kill in the movie theater. So
I enjoy A View to a Kill.
I liked it too. It was a little corny.
I mean, it was 1984, wasn't it? 1985.
86. Forget. Might have been 86. But
hey, do you think we're gonna get a classified Cobra marching band disguised person figure?
I don't think we'll get classified. We probably could see it in the Super 7 Reaction Plus line. I could totally see them doing like an SDCC exclusive pack. They could do that. I'd buy it. I'd set them up right next to the Mobat that I got. So
all
right.
So they're running around town trying to find the Mobat, and the Mobat's parked behind a crane in a vacant lot, and they're trying to figure out what they need to do. Like, should we just stay here? Should we go out? Like, what should we do?
Yeah, it's kind of strange that they're just kind of hanging out, trying to figure out what to do, and like they just kind of scurry down the street, like a little rodent or animal or whatever. They're like, I gotta get the hell out of here. But like, I don't remember sidewalks being this wide.
Yeah, I don't think they are. But like I said, in comic books, like things will change size from, that's just how it works in comic book land.
Yes, in comic book land. But yeah, I love it. So they use that speaker to tell everybody to clear a path as they pull it onto the sidewalk. I mean, that's what you do when you're stuck in traffic, right? You just pull onto the sidewalk and you just go on your merry way.
Until you get a ticket and go to jail.
Yeah, you might just get a ticket nowadays. Nobody wants to deal with jail for that. Unless you
I
don't know. But yeah, marching band loses sight of the Mobat and contacts Cobra Commander over the radio, and he orders them to get the tank and terminate anyone who's in their way, that's pretty hard. Anyone.
I mean, he's not the same Cobra Commander from the cartoon.
No, he's definitely not. Because I think I realized that was it the first issue or the second issue where he just like killed all the women and children in the village. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I think it was the IDW comic book. They did a Cobra Commander storyline where Cobra Commander was a title passed down from person to person, and you had to fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had to kill a bunch of people too. But I think in the one that they started that line, like an Asian kid, I think he was like a Yakuza. He took the mantle of Cobra Commander after killing a bunch of people. And like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so like the generals are getting like, Flag, I thought you said some tanks were going to roll by here. I like tanks in the parade. And I'm like,
But interesting though, they deduce that Cobra Commander must be somewhere close because they're communicating, through a short range radio, which I thought was
true. That's
brilliant.
true.
Was brilliant on their part. They've had some faux pas, let's say, throughout this getting up to here, but but yes, the top brass is getting impatient because they're like, hey, yeah, where's the tank? They don't know what's going on.
They found it in Central Park.
Of course. Like, where else would you find it, right?
But something must be wrong with the sensor link up to our communications equipment because they don't see it. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Pops up out of the water.
With what kind of sound?
Sploosh!
Sploosh. Yeah, so they must have had that submerged for under an hour because everybody's still alive and the Mobat still works.
And the Cobra dudes are running away, and Cobra Commander says, "Turn and fight, you cowards! They don't have any ammunition. They're just bluffing." And like, Commander's right. They would have fired by now if their guns were loaded. And then, bam! And they're like, "Oh, they're kidding." And Steer's like, "The first shot was a warning aimed over your heads. The second shot will turn all of you into lingering red mist unless you drop your weapons and assume the position in a single file. Don't shoot. We surrender."
Is that how the marching band talks? I love it. It's marching band and then the ladies in the series. That's funny. So yeah, they're still growing. The generals they're definitely very impatient.
They are. But then the Mobat comes down the street with the band people. Clutch is getting heavy electronic activity in the immediate vicinity. It's got to be the command post. And holy smoke, I know where it is. And where is it? It's right underneath the platform thingy. And look at General Flag being a boss. He whips out a Colt 45 from a shoulder holster. He's just like
he's taking command.
And he's ready to shoot Clutch. And rumble crash. General Flag jumps off the stage. And then, surprise, surprise, Cobra Commander's underneath the stage the entire time. General Flag like, "Top Snake, you mean Cobra Commander is here too? You tire me, General Flag, you really do. You're a predictable and honorable, a very bad combination of qualities for a military man. Like, you won't shoot me and risk hitting this little Girl Scout." And General Flag says, "Yeah, I would, because she stiffed me on my cookie order last year." Maybe he doesn't say that.
I like that. I like the ad-libbing. It's great.
And then Cobra Commander shoots General Flag and he grazes his temple. Foreshadowing for later. Have you gotten that far?
Oh, past the issues that we're covering today?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, here's a bit of foreshadowing. Cover commander shoots General Flag, barely missing his head, and they take off running. And the little Girl Scout girl's like, look, Susie, that man shot the soldier and is running away. Don't worry, Julie, they'll catch him. They always catch the bad guys. General Flag says, I wish that were true, little girl. And Clutch comes out. General Flag, are you all right? I saw you get hit, and I'm all right. He just grazed my temple. Like, I don't understand it. You used to be captain of the Army pistol team. I've seen you put a whole clip in the bullseye at 10 times that range, but you never even released your safety. Yeah, well, that's why we're the good guys.
That's right. You didn't want to risk it and accidentally shoot one of the Girl Scouts. What's up, Joe Fan 84? Nice of you.
Joe Fan 84 in the house. How are you? I bet you had a Mobat. I bet you have a Mobat right now. Probably within arm's reach. You can just like reach over and grab your Mobat and cuddle it, cuddle it, fall asleep with it.
I can't.
Then it accidentally turns on at night and catches your hair and it spokes, and you got to shave your head.
This is going bad.
Later, back at the pit.
Yep, they got to patch up General Flag, and they let him know how they got through this ruse.
And General Flag's like, I understand how in heaven's name did you fire that warning shot when you didn't have any shells for the cannon, and they just used Breaker's bubble gum.
That's right. Blam.
Like, that's ingenious.
It is ingenious. Yes, and it was all because of the amplified microphone system in the tank.
That's right.
See, all that technology that they poured into the Mobat, it's paying off.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like, why the hell would they be highlighting a microphone? But it was crucial and essential to the story.
Pretty much everything they talked about at the start of the book came into play in this issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a method to the madness, I'm realizing. But it was interesting. I thought the story was like really goofy and cool because I thought it was neat that they focused on the Mobat just to kind of highlight the tech. And why did they do that, Birdman? Sell those toys. That's right.
Yeah, sell them toys. But I'm really liking General Flag. I mean, he's like, the other generals are like skedaddling, and he's just like, let me get out my 45, put a cap in this motherfucker's ass. It's like,
that's right.
Dude.
That's right. But he didn't, because he's the good guys.
But he's a good guy.
That's right.
And I don't think the Baroness talked in this entire issue.
Nope, she's just there for eye candy.
Eye candy.
Comic book candy.
Give me some cavities.
Speaking of candy, it's almost Halloween.
It is. All right, then we got Stalker for the little file card page.
Yep. Have some interesting looking Air Force planes below him, which is cool.
Yeah, those are weird looking. But you want to know weird? We're gonna get like a really weird ass thing in the next issue.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Stalker for a minute.
Yeah.
Advanced Combat Infantry Training, top of class, special training, U.S. Army Language School, Intelligence School. Fluent in Spanish, Arabic, French, and Swahili. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, I just speak American.
Yeah, I took Spanish in high school, but I know enough to be dangerous. But oh my gosh, yeah, that he has an impressive dossier. But yeah, Joe Fan 84, the struggle is real. That's why we don't buy our Halloween candy until the last second.
Mm.
We don't get very many kids coming around, but we do like to overbuy so we can indulge. Andy, do you get a lot of do you get trick or treaters coming to your?
I've never had a trick or treater in almost 20 years.
You should dress up the wolf pack and go take them trick or treating.
I should.
Be like ET all over again.
Yeah. So how would you rank this issue out of all the others that we've been through?
I would say it's. I liked it. I thought the story was a little like, it was a little far-fetched, but I thought it was cool that they kind of pulled off a kind of self-contained little scheme versus like, I'm gonna be doing this global domination thing. It's like they wanted that tech, they knew how to get it, they had the resources to pull off the plan, but the Joes just foiled them. What about you?
I mean, the stories are still self-contained. I think they're doing a good job just fleshing out some characters. I like where General Flag is going. You can tell he's the top guy for a reason, and they don't ever really show all his backstory. But you like, dude, like this dude's like legit.
Yeah. I mean, but they've been great so far. I really like them, and they keep getting better and better too. With the next issue, which I love the cover on this one, so cool.
This one's a two-parter, so we're getting away from the single one and dones here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I, not knowing what was coming, I was like, oh wait, we're cutting this off at a cliffhanger. But I remembered, I guess back in the day, what was the cadence of these coming out? Was it a monthly thing?
Monthly.
So you had to wait a month off of this cliffhanger.
Of course, we're also assuming that it made the deadline and it got out. Marvel was real bad, like in the early 80s or so, for not getting things done on time.
Oh, okay.
So in theory, it was every month, but it could be 6 weeks. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah, issue 6, you got that Cobra Commander base plate with the Joes on one side and the October Guards on the other.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool way to have a cover, because it means something to the story.
Yeah,
there's some covers where I'm like, how does this relate to the story? Okay.
Yeah.
But definitely relatable. All right, now can I call this a splash screen or a splash page?
Yeah, this is splash page. Yeah.
Okay, because it's got single panel, right?
Single panel. Yep.
See, I'm learning.
It's got, to fail is to conquer, to succeed is to die. And It says ancient Afghan proverb in parentheses.
Is that really an ancient Afghan proverb?
I don't know. I mean, ancient Chinese proverbs say, just because you read it in Marvel comic does not mean it is true.
That is definitely true. Words to live by.
I know. Ancient Chinese are so smart to know the future like that.
Yeah. I mean, geez.
So the Joes are getting off a plane. And like, that last mission was a rough one. And it's like, what was the mission?
Yeah.
But Clutch is driving them back to the base. And they're back at the base. And here we get, okay. Clutch is like, I'd rather be moving fast than my Vamp vehicle assault multi-purpose. Right, Zap? And it's like, dude.
Yes.
No one talks like that. Like,
no. But what do you got to do?
Hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store in my 2001 Toyota Sequoia SR5 two-wheel drive. Do you want anything? Okay.
Nope. But when you're selling toys, you got to do it. It's so funny, like, because we've seen the Vamp before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
We saw the Mobat before.
Right.
They were all in the first issue.
Right. Like, do they stop with the elongated descriptions at some point?
Yeah, they'll put them in like a little information box so people can Yeah.
Vehicle assault multi-purpose.
I forgot what VAMP stood for. I just thought
know.
it was just VAMP. Like,
Yeah, I did too.
you had a VAMP growing up, right?
I did not have a vamp. No,
Really?
I was light on the vehicles. I had the bigger vehicles, but not the smaller ones. I had a handful of small ones, some big ones, the GI Joe base. I had the Sky Striker, but I had the APC because that went in the hot tub.
That was so awesome. I love the APC. My grandmother bought me the APC,
Oh,
and it would float. It was so cool.
yeah,
Anything that would float was just like extra awesome.
yeah. Especially if I could continue the enjoyment of GI Joe on land and water, that was a bonus.
Yeah.
Definitely a bonus.
But then we get Hawk coming in to discuss the new mission they got coming.
It's got to break up all the fun.
Got to break up all the fun. That's right.
It's got to ask for volunteers. But yeah, they're always going to somewhere cool though.
Okay, now this aircraft or spycraft, whatever you want to call it. Okay, 2 days ago, a top secret Russian spycraft crash landed in the Hindu Kush mountain range of Afghanistan. The plane and pilot are now in the hands of the Afghani rebel hill tribesmen. Just look at that thing. Like, how many mushrooms do you have to eat to just? It's got like a large tuning fork on the front, and it's I don't know. It's just like, wow.
How does this
Like,
thing even fly?
I don't know. I it's like, wow. That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
But would you have bought that as a child? We've been like, wow.
I mean, it looks something like out of Star Wars, so maybe I would have bought it and just put it with my Star Wars vehicles.
Yeah, that's just cool.
It is
Weird.
it is a pretty kooky and weird vehicle. Yeah, how does this thing land too?
I have no idea.
But
Hawk's setting up the mission. He's like, the October Guard's coming in, the Afghan rebels have them, and we're expecting Cobra Commander to come in. So we got to get there in a hurry. And fear not, there are no landing fields or paved roads in those mountains. So we'll have to take the plane out overland by rough terrain vehicle. We'll drop the RTV components in by chute and assemble it on the spot. RTV, rough terrain. This thing is like weird, like weird. It's like, wow.
This looks like something you would send to like the moon or something.
Yeah. Like that's like a rejected Lost in Space design or something.
It's kind of funny.
Well, like I was thinking, like me, like the APC would have been cool here, but this is like a year before that came out.
Yeah. I mean, if you lop off the front wheels and you just take that like passenger cockpit and move it to the back, it kind of resemble the APC. Maybe this was the pre-APC, aka
no, it's a rough terrain vehicle. It says it. RTV.
Rough terrain. Can it go on smooth terrain, or is it just for rough terrain?
I don't know. Okay, so Hawk's like, I need 6 volunteers, and everyone's like raising their hand, and he's like, yeah, that's nice. I already decided who I want. And it's like, well, fuck you too. Stalker, Scarlet, Clutch, Stealer, Flash, and Breaker. So no Snake Eyes. This is the second issue with no Snake Eyes.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but that won't be happening in later issues now, just so you know.
I'll get my fill of my favorite ninja.
No, so many ninjas.
Oh, great.
So okay, so Clutch is like, hey Scarlett, I hear you're going to be riding shotgun on the RTV. She's like, what of it, Clutch? Well, if you get tired of staring at Steeler's ugly mug, maybe you can ride point with me and we could run out of gas somewhere.
Okay. It's got all the moves.
And she's like, frankly, Clutch, I'd sooner have a date with Clint Eastwood baboon.
That's
I'm
funny.
like,
now, did you have these moves, like this? Have you ever tried these lines out on anyone?
no, I have not. When I was reading this first time, that just went like, woo, like way over my head. I was like,
Yeah. You're like, whatever.
okay. Yeah.
I mean, I never read this at all, so now I'm like, interesting. Okay.
See, now you're learning how to pick up women. I mean, I know you've been married for a long time, but maybe like the next Zoom meeting you're on, you can be like, hello, attractive female coworker.
Wow.
Why don't you like run out of gas somewhere on a deserted road and I can like find you and we can entertain one another.
We can do some work.
And then you'll be like, Habits, you need to talk to HR.
Yeah, no, right? Yeah, this is the recipe for getting fired.
Yeah, and then you tell your wife like why you got fired, like, I just did what Birdman told me to do.
Jeez.
Like,
no, I wouldn't throw you under the bus. I would throw the G.I. Joe comic under the bus. I'd be like, I learned this G.I. Joe comic.
Okay.
There we go. There's where my allegiances lie.
Okay, well, anyways, meanwhile, in the communications bunker of the G.I. Joe Command Center, Cobra Central, this is Songbird. Do you read me? This is Cobra Central. What is the code word? Code word is chameleon. And this dude's talking about intruder mission, airborne, and arrive in Afghanistan. Team has 6 members, equipped with 2 vehicles, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, who is it? Who is Songbird? It's Hawk.
That's crazy. What is he doing?
What's going on here? Is this Zartan like 3 years before Zartan?
Could it be?
No.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. All right, so red light, green light, go. They jump out. They miss the drop zone. And then like all these Jawas pop up and say, please give the password. Password. And it's Quick Snatch is the password. Quick Snatch.
Quick Snatch.
I'll remember that next time I take Zorana out and say, hey, babe, I got the password. Quick Snatch.
Oh, boy.
So I am Mahim, chief of this humble tribe. Please to accept apology for being too cautious. Russians are very tricky. This man is CIA. And it's just like, dude, I can tell by looking at him.
Yeah.
And CIA dude's like, looks like these Himalayan hillbillies really caught you guys with your pants down. Ha 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 ha. Stalker's like, screw you, asshole. And like, man, like this CIA guys are like, I'm like, okay. And the Afghan guy's like, pay small attention to your CIA man. When he arrived, we scared him so bad he dropped his gun and surrendered before he remembered password. Ah, silly CIA man.
You know what he really did? That's why they wear them brown suits to hide But yes. Oops. I did it again.
And then like some real life foreshadowing here. The Afghan guy, like, when you go back America, you remember us, huh? Send us a few thousand anti-tank guns and maybe some ground-to-air missiles. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, moving right along. So they got to assemble the RTV. Look at those giant donut tires.
Yeah. That's the craziest thing. It's that there's 2 of the weirdest looking vehicles I've seen so far in this issue. Is that plane in this thing?
Yeah, this thing's like, wow. I don't even know how this would be like. This is so huge. So huge. It's like,
I guess when you were talking about the scale of stuff being off, it's like that first panel, like the tires would be so much bigger than the people.
I don't know. I mean, it's just so huge. I mean, look at it parked next to the vamp. It's just like,
It's rather large.
yeah,
The vamp could literally drive under the thing.
yeah. So, anyways, they're cruising down the road in this shopping mall.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember those like construct sets, like by Fisher Price?
Yeah.
Like, it kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of something that you would build for that, like their space mission constructs. But yes, they do have to go somewhere in this RTV.
Yeah, like one thing I just wanted to point out, like, Stalker's like, thank you, Ahmed. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best to see that you get your anti-tank guns and your ground-to-air missiles. And he's like, I'm sure you will, my friends. And the CIA dude's like, Stalker's just a 2-bit line infantryman. He can't promise you anything. And Ahmed is like, he is a fighting man. And CIA dude's like, so? And he's like, I knew you wouldn't understand. And it's like, burn. You need some lotion for that burn. So,
yeah, he's just dissing the CIA guy left and right.
Yeah. They're driving down the road, minding their own business. Lots of rocks. And then October 1, this is October 2. They're headed our way. We shall proceed our pre-designated position. And then, like 1 hour later, slow down, Clutch. Looks like there's a deep rut up ahead. And it's like, ooh, that's a big rut.
They're in a rut.
Mm. And then, kapow, rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. They're under fire, taking fire. Pazing, pazing, you know. And it's like a shootout. Lay down suppression fire, top turrets. The vamp's like getting in on the action.
I love that the RTVs it cranes the vamp over the rut.
Yeah, this thing's just crazy. It's like,
and it's shooting at people while it's getting craned over.
oh, of course.
Yes.
And Colonel Brekov is smoking. And then you get like a group photo of the October Guard in their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Colonel Brekov, Scarge, I guess I'm saying that right. Horror Show. What's the chick's name in the October Guard?
Diana, right?
Diana, yeah.
Stormovik.
Yeah, would you like to see the October Guard in classified form?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like to see other things than what they're putting out right now.
In an 95th version of Snake Eyes?
I mean, I'm good with the 96. Maybe I'll draw the line at the 97th. I don't know.
Okay. So we still got a firefight going. And this RTV thing is just crazy. Like the thing, like it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, the Steelers got some nifty features on there to kind of take it to higher ground. It's like that thing can just do anything. And I guess the laws of physics don't apply to the RTV.
Yeah, probably not.
It don't.
But the firefight's ensuing, and the October Guard's pinned down, and Colonel Brackenoff. So like, our plan would be to do what we were trained to do what my father did at Stalingrad, what my grandfather did at the Eastern Front, attack. And they charged the GI Joes. And get ready, Joes, it's going to be hand to hand. and tooth and nail.
Damn.
And they're fighting pretty good.
Yeah, their Stalingrad was pretty brutal. So
yeah, that's an understatement.
Understatement of the century.
And then all of a sudden, guess who comes in? Cobra.
Cobra.
Throw down your weapons. Resistance is futile. You're all prisoners of Cobra Command.
So he's just trying to get them both, round them up.
And Cobra Commander says, collect their arms, line them all up by the ravine, and kill them.
Oh, geez.
And to be continued.
I know. I was after I got to this last page. I was like, wait, should we go into the next one? I haven't read the next one yet, but.
And I almost messaged you there. I'm like, do you want to like just save 6, do 6 and 7 at the same time?
I know. I was like, but we gotta make it like the OG days. Instead of waiting a month to hear about this next comic, you just gotta wait a week, right?
Yep.
Do they have a lot of multi issues?
Yeah. When things get going.
Look who's here. The toy sorceress has dropped by.
Toy sorceress in the house.
Toy sorceress is in the house. Partner. It's always fun to see you drop into these things. Yeah,
like once like Dr. Venom comes in and you get like a multi-issue story arc with him and Scarface, and Quinn comes back and Snake Eyes and him go off on like a road trip through Florida, and there's like this big climax and a bunch of stuff goes down, and I don't want to spoil anything, but some people die, and
that but no, we're doing amazing. We're actually just wrapping up issue number 6 and talking about some of the multi-issues cliffhangers that happen, because this one has a cliffhanger and they continue it in the next episode.
Let's just talk about that cover for issue 7 real fast. You got Stalker with his back to Colonel Brackenoff, and they're both just like, it's like that's a good cover. A moment ago they were enemies. Now they fight together against the greatest evil in the world.
Yes. Which we'll get into next week. And we also have a highlight of the vehicle attack multi-purpose.
Vehicle attack multi-purpose, yes. I'm Clutch, and this is my bad short. Under that OD hood, she's got a 4.8 liter fuel-injected turbocharged V12 that can punch her up fully loaded to 140 miles per hour. Now that's some heavy badness coming at you. I would not want to be driving the Vamp at 140 miles an hour. No way.
No. Yeah, that roll bar doesn't look like it'll save anybody, because I think your head's not supposed to be above the roll bar. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, the issue 6 is to be continued in issue 7. So how do you want to handle the issues like this? Do you want to just cover them in the? Yeah, we should probably cover them in the same show, huh? Then we can get like
well, what do you want to do when we get to like a 6-part story arc?
Then we just do like a 7-hour live stream,
Yeah. Okay then.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. I didn't even realize there were. No.
Yeah, I mean, and then like when they do like, I think like the attack on Cobra Island is several issues.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We'll be a little bit more pragmatic about the ones that we string together. How about that?
I mean, I used to have to wait, like 4 to 6 weeks, And when you're like in first grade, 4 weeks is a long ass time. It's just like, oh my God, hurry up.
Yeah. It's like waiting for the holidays to roll around, right?
I know.
That took forever. But these are fun. This was a cool story. I like that they introduced the October Guard, and it's got a a much heavier battle.
It does.
Aside
And
from like the vehicle, the way that the two vehicles are illustrated, it's kind of funny. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Toy Sorceress. Go have your din din. I gotta have my din din pretty soon too.
yeah, the combat is going to get a lot more involved.
I hear it gets a lot more intense too, just from
It does.
random things that I've heard over the years about these comics. So, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's not the cartoon, where people just jump out with parachutes and so.
Dave says, if you're in trouble and no one else will help you, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the J team.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, those are fun. These are really neat. Just looking at these for the first time, I'm enjoying them. What about you? Like you read these when you were a kid, and now you're circling back to them. How are you feeling about it
now? I like it. I miss the days of just being like, you'd get a comic book and it could give you like days of just enjoyment, because you'd read it and then you go back and you look at the pictures and you read it some more, and then you trace the pictures and you draw the pictures, and then you get your action figures and you try to like live out the comic book scenes, and it's like now I get one, it's just like, okay, next one. It's just like, it's like a Tinder date, just only shorter.
I don't think I've ever heard a comic described as a Tinder date, but there is a first time for everything.
Well, I'm saying like nowadays, because I'd spend hours with a comic book back when I was younger, but now I don't spend hardly any time with them.
Yeah, I spent zero time with comics when I was younger.
You had a rough childhood. You were deprived.
I did, but no, I had a very blessed childhood, devoid of comics. So, all right, issues. All right, so issue 7. Does that conclude this story that started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then it's another self-contained little story then.
I think 8. I think 8 self-contained.
Okay. Alrighty then. Well, we will run through 7 and 8 next week. Ooh, it's Halloween this week.
It is.
It is. So no trick-or-treaters in the Birdman's area.
No.
But you get all the candy. You got to prepare for them though. If there's that one kid that comes along, you got to have that big old thing of candy.
No. I mean, no one will come to my door, but that's okay.
All right, fine. Well, you just have the candy anyway.
But I hope everyone has a good Halloween, and I hope they enjoyed tonight's episode.
Yeah. Thanks for
next week. We'll be back again.
We will. Same time, same place. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's fun.
And who all got Nemesis Enforcer today? Comment in
That's a good question.
Yeah, who got Nemesis Enforcer? And is he still available?
That's a good question. Oh, thank you, Joe Fan. Always enjoy you fellas. We enjoy you too, Joe Fan.
Thanks for coming by, Joe Fan.
Well, let's check it out. Let's see if
he sold out.
Oh man. Oh no, he's still in. Oh wait, he says in stock, but then he says like it gives me the green light that says in stock, but he says sold out. I love that. Come on, Hasbro.
Do you think they'll re-release them?
Good question. I mean, sometimes they'll show up in a back in stock, because people's orders get canceled and whatever. But yeah, I passed on Nemesis Enforcer, Immortal, sorry, as well. He's Nemesis Enforcer in my headcanon. But yeah, I don't know. He's not everybody's cup of tea, and I doubt they made I don't know. It's hard to tell because they probably didn't make a lot of them too. Because
He looks so cool though. I mean, like I was telling you before the show, I think he's got great crossover appeal. I'm not sure I would play with him much with G.I. Joe, but like throw him in with He-Man or Sectars or Humanoids or even Transformers. He could be some kind of basic creature dude they found on a random planet.
That's true. That's definitely true. But yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, he says in stock, but yeah, you definitely can't order him. But if I do, I'll keep an eye out for him though. Yeah,
he was in the new Cobra Commander comic book that came out this year.
Was that the Energon Universe one? Or
yeah. I kind of checked out because I don't mix my Transformers and G.I. Joe. I just want them to be separate.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's how you roll.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got a show Friday night, my friend?
That's a good question. Not this Friday night because we gotta drive up to Reno. Thursday's off the books because I gotta tell this toy sorceress this too, but it's Halloween, so we're tied up for Halloween too. So we'll have to figure out if we'll do one and when that might be.
Okay.
So, all right, my friend.
If Toy Sorceress wants a wingman, tell her to let me know.
I will definitely. I'll definitely let her know.
I can make a bunch of Zorano jokes
and make her blush.
Make everyone uncomfortable.
I'll definitely sell her on that one. There you go. All right, man. Well, I will see you next week, and we'll see everybody else next week. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Bye, y'all.